Good morning students. Welcome to the class. We are doing chapter 2 of political science, class 10th, and the name of the chapter is federalism. In today's session, we will discuss following topic: how is federalism practiced, linguistic states, and language policies. Constitutional provisions are necessary for the success of federalism, but these are not sufficient. The real success of federalism in India can be attributed to the nature of democratic politics in our country. To follow the true spirit of federalism, respect for diversity and desire for living together should become a shared idea in our country. Now we will understand the concept of linguistic states. The creation of linguistic state was the first and a major test for democratic politics in a country. After independence, the boundaries of several old states were changed in order to create new states. This was done to ensure that the people who spoke the same language live in a same state. Some states were not created on the basis of language, but to recognize differences based on culture, ethnicity, and geography. These include states like Nagaland, Uttarakhand, and Jharkhand. Some national leaders resisted the demand of new states on the basis of language, as they thought this would lead to the disintegration of the country. But later, this fear proved wrong, and the formation of linguistic states actually made the country more united and administration become more easier. Then there come a second test, that is language policy. This is a second test for Indian Federation. The Indian Constitution did not give the status of national language to any of the language. Though Hindi was identified as the official language, which is mother tongue of only 40% of Indians, the central government has not imposed Hindi on states where people speak a different language. Beside Hindi, there are languages recognized as scheduled languages by the Indian Constitution. For a central government jobs, candidate may take the examination in any of these languages. States too have their own official languages. The maximum work of the government take place in the official language of that concerned state. In our constitution, it was made clear that the use of English as official language was to stop in 1965. But many non-Hindi speaking states fear that this was the attempt to impose Hindi on them. They demanded that the use of English should continue. In Tamil Nadu, a strong violent protest happened against this. So, central government withdraw the proposal and English along with Hindi continue for official purposes. Though central government continues the policy of promotion of Hindi, but it does not mean that Hindi will be imposed on non-Hindi speaking states. Now we understand it with the linguistic diversity of India. Census of India 2001 recorded more than 1500 distinct languages which people mention as their mother tongue. These languages were grouped together under some major languages. Example, language like Bhojpuri, Magadhi, Chhattisgarhi, Rajasthani, and many others were grouped together under Hindi. Even after this grouping, the census found 114 major languages. Of these, 22 languages are now included in the 8th schedule of Indian Constitution and are therefore called scheduled languages. Other are called non-scheduled languages. In terms of languages, India is perhaps the most diverse country in the world. The given explanation make it clear that no one language is the mother tongue of majority of our population. Now we discuss about center-state relation. Restructuring the center-state relations is one more way in which federalism has been strengthened in practice. Though Indian Constitution has demarcated the power of the union and state government, still the union government can have influence over the state in many ways. In the past, central government many times misused the constitution to dismiss the state government that were ruled by rival parties. This undermined the spirit of federalism. The Indian scenario has changed after 1990. This was the beginning of the era of coalition government at the center. Since no single party got a clear majority in the Lok Sabha, the major national parties had to enter into an alliance with many parties, including several regional parties, to form a government at the center. It led to a new culture of power sharing and respect for the autonomy of state government. The Supreme Court made it difficult for the central government to dismiss state government in an arbitrary manner. So by all this we can understand that how federalism, respect for diversity and desire for living together, and it should become a shared idea in our country. That's it with today's session. In tomorrow's session we will study about the decentralization in India, about local government, Panchayati Raj and municipalities. Till then, take care. Goodbye.